Hi everyone.
Hi. Oh wait, go. Sorry.
Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea.
I'm Christelle.
And we are Blondies Kitchen, and we can't wait to show you our incredible Go Bruce chocolate cake.
So this chocolate cake is so versatile. You don't just have to make it for a birthday cake or anything like that. If you fancy afternoon tea just on your own at home, fancy a cuppa and a slice of cake, it is perfect.
It's so quick and easy, it's oil-based, it's an all-in-one, and we're gonna show you how to make the perfect chocolate cake every time. So first things first, we're gonna get the kettle on.
Kettle for a cuppa or kettle for this?
Good question.
Both.
Kettle's boiling, should we preheat the oven?
Always preheat the oven. So this is one of our best tips we can give you. You want to put your temperature to the oven straight away because it affects the cooking time. So say the temperature's not there yet and then you put your cake in there, it's going to be cooking for longer because it wasn't at the right temperature. So I'm going to turn it on now.
And we're preheating our oven to 180 degrees. And when you're baking cakes, another tip for when you're baking, you always want to bake your cakes on the middle shelf. Unless we specify bottom, top, always go middle. You can't go wrong. The heat generally distributes quite evenly along the middle of your oven. So it's a really simple recipe. You don't need too many ingredients, and we're going to show you how you can just shove them all into one bowl and mix it all together. You don't need any fancy equipment. You just need a large mixing bowl. And in our large bowl, we are going to add everything to it. So we've got 450 grams of plain flour.
Go in with that.
And to that, we're just going to go in with everything else that we've got here. So we've got
cocoa powder,
170 grams of cocoa powder. We're not sieving anything, it's not necessary. So again, really easy to just knock this one out, which is why Christelle said if you fancy afternoon tea at home, just do it.
Honestly, the best thing. But careful when you're pouring in the cocoa powder. Really funny story, when I was younger, when I was working in a bakery, I didn't know that when you pour cocoa powder, quickly, it will fly up.
Yeah,
so I poured a 10-kilo bag into a bin, not a bin to go in the bin, it was a flour bin. The whole thing went up in my face.
Oh my God,
and
it's like icing sugar.
Oh my, I had to walk into my boss to be like, I don't know what to do, I need to go home and take a shower.
Oh my God. To that, we have got bicarb and baking powder. So this is our baking powder, and we've got 3 tablespoons here that's just going in.
Mix this all together.
And then we've got 3 tablespoons of bicarbonate of soda. Again, when you're mixing all the dry-in together, you're not activating any of the raising agents or anything, so don't worry.
It's only when you add the wet,
exactly.
It starts to, you'll see, it will start to bubble.
Exactly. And you don't want to add your wet ingredients before you're really ready to go in the oven, because as soon as the raising agent starts activating, you want to get in the oven to get your rise on.
So we season all of our cakes with salt. It shouldn't just be for savoury food. You want to also
balance the
sweetness of the chocolate.
Definitely. And then we've got 700 grams of golden caster sugar.
In we go with the sugar.
We always use golden caster sugar. You don't have to. If you've got regular caster sugar, that also works really well. It's not essential. It's not bleached, so I suppose it's just a bit better for you, which is why we do it. And it adds slightly caramelised flavour.
I love sugar so much.
And I'm thinking, have we made an error with the size bowl we're using?
Probably.
Like we do.
One big bowl. We're going to pour everything into this bowl.
Perfect.
So if anyone hasn't cracked eggs for cakes, you want to make sure there is no shell that goes in it, because there's nothing worse when you're eating like a really yummy moist cake and you get like a crunch of the eggshell. Nothing will harm you or anything like that, it's just not very nice.
Just give them a quick whisk together. Just makes it easier when you combine everything. If you're doing it by hand, you don't have to.
Let's move this out of the way.
But we always. Okay, so now we can go in with all of our wet ingredients. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our oil. We've got 250 ml of flavourless oil, vegetable sunflower, you can use either. And we've got 500 ml of whole milk. One thing we will always say is never go for the semi-fat, half-fat, no-fat versions of milk, butter or fat in general, because it really affects the overall effect.
Always.
So you need to go full fat for cake, and just remember, like, you're eating cake and that's okay.
When you're mixing this in, you want to move from your spatula to your whisk. to start mixing it.
And I'll just pour the egg in for you.
Yep.
And honestly, don't worry about the order that we've done this in either, because genuinely all these ingredients can just go in together. No stress, don't panic. And then finally, while Christelle's mixing that, I'm gonna get the boiling water. We need 500 mils of boiling water from the kettle, and we're gonna gradually pour that in.
And you can see it's a little bit lumpy at the moment. That's because I haven't mixed it well enough. So there's all little pockets of flour. So if you move it, you'll see them. But we wanna add the water in slowly, and don't do it fast because the hot water will
go everywhere.
Oh my God, this smells like hot chocolate fudge. But if you don't have an assistant with you,
I was literally about to say the same. I was literally about to be like, now I know it looks like that
we're doing it together.
Yeah, that we've got someone here.
But we do everything together.
And you're probably at home on your own thinking, how the hell are we supposed to mix this like this? But this is looking really good now. And you can see, you're probably thinking, there's still so much water to add. Why is it so runny? But that's the whole idea. This is a really, I suppose, almost, it is liquid. It's a liquid batter.
It's a liquid batter, but it is a BRUCEY chocolate cake.
Exactly. And by BRUCEY, if you're wondering who Bruce is, he's not related to us.
We don't know Bruce. I wish we knew Bruce.
Bruce is Bruce Bogtrotter from Matilda, and this is a Go Bruce chocolate cake because it's fudgy and everything that Bruce would want. You can add so many different icings or decorate this however you want. It's even nice, literally on its own, as a slice, with a dollop of creme fraiche or double cream, and that would be delish, but we're gonna be icing it with a chocolate buttercream. But if you wanted to add more of a ganache, like a fudge ganache to it, you could do that. And then the last bit of water, and as you can see,
and now it's like chocolate soup.
Exactly.
But all the raising agents you've put in
are activating.
Can we see?
Yeah.
All the little bubbles are starting to form because this is the active, the raising agent has started to be active.
Exactly.
So now we need to get this in the oven ASAP. We're all about precision, okay? So
you don't have to be, and we're not saying that you have to do this, but if you want to be as professional as us, I mean, we're not that professional, but if you do want to, you know, give your cake that extra wow factor, you want them to be the same size, thickness and depth when you obviously display the cake.
One reason why I do it as well is if you've ever had to cut a cake in half and then you've cut the cake in half and one size bigger than the other.
It's the worst.
Don't even do that. Just weigh it out and put it in two separate ones. Also, the cooking time is faster. So you don't have to wait around and you can eat it quicker.
100%.
So we're going to put our cake tin on here. This is the food porn moment. Tell me when I'm there.
No, do 500. You're at 500 now.
Let's do more.
Okay, do
800.
Yeah. No. That's 806 grams.
Right, then we're going to take our other one and we're going to go in.
So that's 870 grams. Okay, so now we have divided our cake batter and we're gonna go straight in the oven with these for around 25 to 30 minutes until they're bouncy and a skewer comes out clean. So we took our cakes out the oven when they were ready. We left our cakes to cool in their tins. It's a really fudgy recipe, isn't it? So it's better to just leave them to cool in the tin. Don't worry about transferring to a wire rack. And when they're completely cool to the touch, we can start making our icing.
If they aren't cool and you start icing them, the buttercream that we're about to show you how to make will melt and it will not have the same effect. So you've got to be patient.
So we're gonna start making our buttercream. We're making an American buttercream, which is basically icing sugar with any flavoring you like. We're using cocoa powder as we're doing it chocolatey. And we use an addition of milk at the end. We're using oat milk in this recipe, but you can use any milk that you like. Just make sure your butter is really nice and soft.
So I can go through it with a knife. It's probably get the perfect spreadable consistency if you're making a sandwich. If that's the consistency.
Sandwich.
That's the consistency. She's always hungry. So we're going to put it in the mixer.
So we've got 250 grams of unsalted butter. We
gonna break it
always
up
use unsalted butter for buttercreams and icings because we like to add the salt separately so we can control the salt level as such. Seasoning our food, we season all of our bakes, whether they're sweet or savoury. So pinch of salt in there.
So we're going to turn our mixer on. And we're going to cream the butter until the colour has slightly changed. So we want to get this butter to be light and fluffy. It's a little bit yellow at the moment, and when it turns white, you know it's ready. So we're going to turn the mixer off now, have a little look for how it's going.
That looks good.
Just going to scrape a little bit down the sides of the bowl.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in with half of our icing sugar.
Just roughly. Try and get it in the bowl, not everywhere else like me. And we're going to turn that on. Now we're going to add in the remainder of our icing sugar.
And beat that really well again.
So we're just going to scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure that it's all the same colour and that all the buttercream,
all the chocolates combined.
Yeah. Now we're going to add in a little bit of our oat milk, small amounts. You turn the mixer on, please.
Sure.
It's only 2 tablespoons we need. Perfect.
That looks so silky and perfect. Let me just take a tiny bit. That's delicious. Obviously, I just dipped my finger in it. Sorry,
no one else. A spoon and
no
she's
one
already
else.
put her finger
No
in
one
it.
else is. It's like almost chocolate mousse-like. It's amazing.
You wouldn't eat this as mousse though, would you? You probably
would.
Now we're going to ice our cakes. We've got a little secret ingredient which we always think adds the most incredible crunch, yum, and don't even have words for it, but
Yeah,
it's divine.
everyone will go mad. Let me just get that.
Our secret ingredient is Biscoff, but the crunchy one. So it's not the smooth one, it needs the crunch. It adds like a pop in your mouth. It's amazing.
And we're basically going to sandwich our cakes with the Biscoff spread, crunchy spread, and then we're going to top it with our incredible chocolate mousse-like buttercream. If you don't want to use Biscoff, you can double the buttercream recipe
So you can use it in the middle, or you can use Nutella, peanut butter if you like peanut butter chocolate.
You could even use whipped cream. You could whip up some double cream if you're looking for something a bit lighter, add a bit of vanilla to your whipped cream and then top it with the chocolate topping. Honestly, anything goes. So however you like your chocolate cake, just do it.
Gonna peel it off.
So we're gonna put the cake straight down, top side down onto the cake plate that we're serving onto. This isn't too technical, guys. We've tried to make this so simple for you. So use a little palette knife and take the base of your tin off, like so. And then remember that you do have parchment on there as well. There's nothing worse than like eating the paper. It reminds me of like being a kid and eating cupcakes with the base on it. And then just peel that off and you can see that it's nice and flat, ready for you to decorate with. So that's why you always want to go top side down, because the top has a slight dome, and if we were being like super perfectionist, we would have, you know, sliced the top of that, but we're not trying to create like the most intricate recipe ever. It's simple and delicious. And Chriselle's literally gonna just pour the whole jar onto the cake.
Literally.
Oh my God, are you actually?
Yeah.
Yum. You don't have to use the crunchy one. Wow. Wow. Oh my God, wow.
And what you want to do is you want to do soft motions.
Swooshes.
Swoosh it and turn your, if you've got a turntable, great. If you don't,
just use whatever you're serving on. Like we said, it's not meant to be super difficult. You're making it look so amazing though, I'm not gonna lie. This is like ASMR.
she's so into that.
I'm so into ASMR, it's relaxing.
I can't get into it, I don't like it.
Food is like,
The
watching
worst
food.
is when people are like listening to
I love it,
things.
I love it so much.
Okay, so we've got an even amount.
That looks incredible. So same process, shake off the sides. If you're using not a springform tin and you've got a tin where the bottom comes out, push the bottom out. And if you're using tins that have no bottom that comes out, make sure you really did grease your tin well. And I hope your baking parchment has come up enough so that you can just pop it out. Oh, is that for me?
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go down. And I'm gonna do the same thing again. My spatula.
Wow.
And pull it
Wow.
off.
I'll just be your Cinderella.
Cinderella. If your icing's been sitting there for however long, it will harden slightly. So just get a spoon and just mix it up a little bit. Make sure it really is soft.
And if you want to make your buttercream well in advance, you absolutely can, and leave it in the fridge overnight. But when you take it out the next day, we advise rebeating it. So you'll have to put it back in your mixer and beat it again. Go for it.
Just go for it, okay? So just plop
Straight in the middle. Wow.
Okay, so now I'm gonna get my spatula or the back of a spoon.
The palette knife.
Palette knife, sorry. And we're gonna do the same swooshing motions.
Yeah, so you're not trying to make it look like ultra neat, are you?
No, this isn't what this cake's about. This is our BRUCEY.
Rustic.
So I'm literally just going over it. Just to make it look
Inviting is the word.
You,
I'm invited, yeah? And like we said, it doesn't have to be your birthday, although if it was, I personally would love to celebrate with this chocolate Lotus Biscoff.
if you're having a bad day and just need a cuppa and a slice of cake, or a glass of wine and a slice of cake.
You're like putting it in my face, and I'm like, yes.
Okay. There you go.
Wow, unbelievable.
So
And
then-
this is it, isn't it?
This is it, but I'm gonna clean up the edges. You wanna make sure that
Yeah, although it's not meant to look perfect, you still obviously want it to look neat and gorgeous.
But yeah, should we cut one slice?
Yes. So this is our incredible Go BRUCEY chocolate cake with a Biscoff crunchy filling, and we really hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe below and let us know how you get on. We can't wait to see your recipes too.
Enjoy!